Is the California real estate exam difficult? Question 1. Broker Tina receives an earnest money deposit of $10,000 from buyer Bob for a property in Riverside. Under California law, how many business days does Tina have to deposit this money into a trust account or neutral escrow? 1 business day, 2 business days, 3 business days, 5 business days. California real estate law requires a broker to deposit trust funds, like earnest money, into a trust account, neutral escrow, or hand them to the principal within 3 business days of receipt. Question 2. Tina is a newly licensed real estate salesperson in California. To renew their license after the first 4-year term, how many hours of approved continuing education must Tina complete? 15 hours, 30 hours, 45 hours, 50 hours. All real estate licensees in California must complete 45 hours of approved continuing education every 4 years to renew their license. Question 3. Agent Tina represents the seller, Bob. When must Tina provide the agency disclosure form to Bob? Before entering into the listing agreement, before showing the property to any buyers, before closing escrow, within days of signing the contract. The listing agent must deliver the agency disclosure form to the seller before entering into the listing agreement. Question 4. Tina purchases a home in Riverside for $693,000. Under California's Proposition 13, what is the maximum annual percentage increase in the assessed value of the property, assuming no change in ownership or new construction? 1%, 2%, 3%, percent. Proposition 13 limits the annual increase of the assessed value of real property to a maximum of 2% per year, unless there is a change in ownership or new construction. Question 5. Broker Tina hires an unlicensed assistant, Bob. Which of the following tasks can Bob legally perform? Show a vacant property to a prospective buyer. Answer questions regarding the terms of a residential lease. Type up and file real estate documents and coordinate days, appointments. Negotiate the price with a buyer's agent. Unlicensed assistants can perform clerical duties, such as typing, filing, and scheduling appointments, but cannot perform acts that require a real estate license, like showing properties or negotiating. Question 6. Tina wants to claim adverse possession of a vacant lot in Riverside owned by Bob. In California, one of the requirements is that Tina must occupy the land continuously and pay property taxes for a minimum of how many years? 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. In California, adverse possession requires open, notorious, continuous, and hostile possession under a claim of right or color of title, plus payment of property taxes, for a period of 5 years. Question 7. Contractor Tina completes a remodeling job on Bob's home in Riverside but is not paid the $10,000 owed. If Tina wishes to file a mechanic's lien, they must have served a preliminary notice within how many days of starting work? 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, 30 days. A preliminary notice must be given within 20 days of first furnishing labor, materials, or equipment to preserve the right to file a mechanic's lien in California. Question 8. Broker Tina takes an exclusive right to sell listing from Bob for a property in Riverside. The property sells for $693,000. Tina retains all records of this transaction. Under the California Business and Professions Code, how long must Tina keep these records? 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. Real estate brokers must retain all records regarding real estate transactions for a period of 3 years from the date of the closing or the date of the listing if the transaction is not consummated. Question 9. Which type of deed is most commonly used in Riverside, California to transfer title to real property, which includes 2 implied warranties from grantor Tina? Quitclaim deed, warranty deed, grant deed, trust deed. The grant deed is the most common instrument used to transfer title in California. It carries two implied warranties that the grantor has not already conveyed title to another, and that the estate is free from undisclosed encumbrances made by the grantor. Question 10. Tina applies for a loan of $693,000 and is provided a loan estimate. Under the TILA-RESPA Integrated Disclosure (TRID) rule, how many business days after receiving the application must the lender provide this estimate? 1 business day, 3 business days, 5 business days, 7 business days. Under TRID, a lender must provide the loan estimate to the borrower within 3 business days of receiving the loan application. Question 11. Under the subdivided lands law in California, a public report is required when a property in Riverside is divided into how many parcels for the purpose of sale, lease, or financing? 2 or more, 3 or more, 4 or more, 5 or more. The subdivided lands law applies to the subdivision of land into 5 or more parcels for sale, lease, or financing. Question 12. Tina is a broker who mixes their personal funds of $10,000 with their clients' trust funds. This illegal practice is known as conversion, commingling, steering, redlining. Commingling is the illegal act of mixing a broker's personal or business funds with the trust funds of a client. Conversion is actually spending the trust funds. Question 13. Agent Tina focuses marketing efforts in Riverside by telling homeowners that a certain minority group is moving into the neighborhood to induce panic selling. This illegal practice is known as blockbusting, steering, redlining, flipping. Blockbusting, also known as panic selling, is the illegal practice of inducing homeowners to sell their properties by suggesting that people of a particular race, religion, or background are moving into the neighborhood. Question 14. If Tina obtains an easement by prescription over Bob's land in Riverside, Tina must have used the property hostilely, openly, continuously, and notoriously for a period of at least 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. In California, an easement by prescription requires 5 years of open, notorious, continuous, and hostile use under a claim of right. Question 15. Tina and Bob sign a written contract for the sale of a property for $693,000. In California, the statute of limitations to file a lawsuit for breach of a written contract is 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. The statute of limitations for bringing a lawsuit on a written contract in California is 4 years. Question 16. When calculating the property tax on Tina's home in Riverside, the county tax assessor uses the property's market value, assessed value, appraised value, replacement cost. Property taxes are based on the assessed value of the property, not the current market value or appraised value. Question 17. To create a valid joint tenancy between Tina and Bob for a property in Riverside, which 4 unities are required? Time, title, interest, possession. Time, title, consent, payment. Agreement, consideration, title, possession. Interest, possession, funding, signature. The 4 unities required to create a joint tenancy are time, title, interest, and possession, often remembered by the acronym TTIP. Question 18. Broker Tina holds an open listing on Bob's property in Riverside. Tina will only earn a $10,000 commission if they are the first to show the property, the procuring cause of the sale, the listing broker of record on the MLS, able to hold days, open houses. In an open listing, the broker only earns a commission if they are the procuring cause of the sale, the one who brings the willing and able buyer. Question 19. Tina executes a deed conveying property to Bob. For the deed to be valid in California, it must contain all of the following except a granting clause, the signature of the grantor, N1, the signature of the grantee, N2, An adequate description of the property. A valid deed must be signed by the grantor, but the grantee is not required to sign it. Question 20. A lender offers Tina a loan of $693,000 to purchase a commercial property in Riverside. The lender requires the property to be used as collateral while Tina retains possession. This is known as subordination, hypothecation, alienation, amortization. Hypothecation is the practice of pledging property as security for a debt while retaining possession and use of the property.